My understanding is that emergency shelter was brought together by some community activists who were really concerned about homelessness. And they came together realizing that there was a big need in Stamford and no one was really providing the delivery of services. So this group started what was known as Shelter for the Homeless in the mid 80s.
Shelter for the Homeless was very different. When I think back, it was more shelter, which was good. There were many, many services built into the shelter that a team of case managers worked on. I'll give you a little history. Before Shelter for the Homeless, it was housed on the west side of Stamford in it looks like a little valley. And it was East Main Shelter. And before that, it was in a church.
After a while, I don't know how long, maybe only about a month, they moved over to 66 West Main Street upstairs. And that was a more open place. Again, it was very crowded. Had no facilities. There wasn't even a shower to start. As I recall, we eventually got a shower that didn't work so well. There again, my main job was providing supplies to the shelter.
Within a year or so was with capital enhancement opened up where they were able to host and have 67 guests that were able to come to the emergency shelter.
My earliest recollection of Pacific House starts in high school. The church where I was attending in New Canaan served meals here, and I came along as a high school student looking to help out, and I met the staff here and enjoyed serving meals.
During the time, I was very young. During that time, I was in corporate America. Who knew about homelessness? I know I didn't, and neither did I care. I had a whole different perspective of where my life was going to be. And as I matured, I left corporate America because I wanted to volunteer. And the minute I began volunteering, I decided, you know what, you can make the money, but you need to give back. And ever since then, I fell in love with the agency.
Pacific House Emergency Shelter has been recognized as a leader in providing the delivery of services for the homeless population. It's been known for being a very low barrier shelter, in addition to really being very innovative in how it delivers its services.
It's been a lot, dealing with the population as to what everybody says where they're at, going under the bridges and working with somebody there in a very vulnerable situation, of them being homeless, sleeping outside, trying to get them to come into shelter, working with people with mental health, substance abuse. It's really been tough. It's something that touches you, but at the same time, you got a job, and they are human, but the most important thing about working with that population like that is that they realize that when you come there, you're coming there to try to help them in some type of way.
I make sure that they go and get their Social Security cards, their ID, their birth certificate. I make sure that they try to get a job at least. If they can't get a job, I'll hire them on to Pacific House to work in our workforce program.
Pacific House for the last 12 years or so has been really committed to being much more about solutions. So from the moment you enter the emergency shelter, our focus is primarily getting someone from beginning to end around getting them housed.